Good morning. 8:59. Oh, 8:59. Oh, there's 9 o'clock. I guess a little eager beaver this morning, huh? April 24th, 2023. Let's see. I don't even know if I have these screens muted. Yes, I do. Come over here and check on audio. Today is Monday. I don't know if I have these, and I hear my button on my sleeve scraping on the desk, because I don't even bother buttoning my sleeves. That one's already buttoned. Maybe it's a style thing, like one glove and Doug has one sleeve open. You're seeing more reflection in my glasses today, I just noticed, because I have the shades open. I usually have those closed. So if I look this way, you won't see that reflection. When I look at chat, you're going to see that reflection. Oh boy. I don't have Ken Stout eyes, so I can't go without glasses. He's got such good vision now that he doesn't even need glasses to read chat. What you gonna do? I did get a confirmation of audio, and then what button do I press to zoom this in? I don't remember. Oh, Control Plus. Turn my picture-in-picture on, and let's see what we got here. Buns of Wisdom came over. Hello, Buns of Wisdom. I think we just got to meet you, on Saturday, I think? Ken Stout says, good morning, Rick Lakes. My bike is in the shop. Price on repairs is $369. Oh, my gosh. Drivetrain and brakes replaced. Ouch. From Ken. Yeah. Ran Israel. Hello, Nick Poberman. A colorblind friend of mine insists that all apples are yellow. I told him that was bananas. As in he's crazy. He's bananas. Took a moment. Not all apples are yellow. Some apples are, right? Let's see. Hellos back and forth. Yes, expensive, but it was time to get it done. Parts were starting to wear out. Is there an eight-year build in bicycles? Is that a thing? Buns of Wisdom. Hey, Doug and everyone. Finally at home. Randy Israel asking Ken about his eyes. Actually, it will be closer to 4,400 by the time I replace the cargo bag on my bike. He said that was a 100 some odd dollars. So it's going to be $4,400 by the time he places a cargo bag. So that's a Louis Vuitton cargo bag on your bicycle, right? Yikes. I know it's a typo. 49 degrees Fahrenheit, probably typo. Hope it was a typo. Morning and afternoon, Rick Lake, Selden Ball, saying names here. John to Rick, just had my bike repaired by a neighbor who works for Trek Waterloo in Wisconsin. Love it, cause it was free. Hellos back and forth. Hellos. There's Zvi Manor. Got something to talk about that Zvi Manor came up with on Saturday that I followed up. I told you guys that I go back and read through the messages. I missed Zvi Manor's message during the Saturday show. And so then I copied that comment over here into an email that is sent to me at 12:58 p.m. my time. Zvi Manor gave me the emojis, but I didn't pick up on it during the show. So sorry. Says, did you know that Windows 10 and Windows 11 have set for automatically save my restartable apps and restart them after I sign in? I just found it. And then here's a link for it. Let's see, I'll right click on that link, copy the link address, put that into chat. Let's see, auto restart apps. And I'm going to go show you a little bit about it because I found it pretty fascinating. That's too long of a link for me to put in. Yeah, somebody can do a quick link for that or short link, whatever. And then I'll go over and bring up that page. How to enable restartable application in Windows. Well, rather than reading through this, I did tinker around with it and I did get it to work. I get to it by pressing the Windows key and then let's see, what was it? Sign-in options is an easy way to get to the screen that has us. It works on Windows 10 and Windows 11. That article, I think, only talks about Windows 11. But I have tested it with Windows 10, and it does work, but you have to jump through a few hoops to get it to work. So here, this Restart Apps by default is turned off. You can turn it on and off as you so choose. The first, I tried turning that on, and I tried leaving some apps open, restarting the computer. It didn't work for any of them. So I went and read the article more. RTFM, read the full manual. Because what I did it on was Google Chrome. So you do a right click on your program icon, whatever icon you use to launch for it. And you have to go configure each program that you want this to work on. It doesn't work on programs by default. So I did a right click on Google Chrome, and then properties. Now this is actually just, I think we're just at a shortcut now. See the shortcut arrow? You can go to the compatibility tab, I think, and select, no, this one doesn't have that option. There's some other programs that I did find the option there on the shortcut tab. But if you go to the open file location, you need to actually make this change on the executable. That's what that document, that's what that website tells us, is make the change to the EXE, the executable program file. But I did find one instance where I could do it on a shortcut. So you right click on the program file, choose properties, then go to the compatibility tab, and then right down here, register this program for restart. So I did that, registered this program for restart, left Google Chrome open, and then restarted the computer. It did not come back up. However, next time I tried it, it did. So I did that for Google Chrome, and I did that for OBS. So the idea behind that is if you have a client's computer, and I have this happen a lot, connect to a client's computer maybe after hours, and I find they've left a lot of stuff open. And I've got a red dot or an orange dot, that means the computer needs to be restarted. So some of my clients, if I shut down all their stuff, they get a little perturbed about that because they leave things open that they need to go back and follow up on. Well, if those programs have been registered for restart, you can't do it right then. It has to be pre-configured for that. When they launch the program, it needs to be registered for a restart. Then I could actually restart the computer and automatically open everything. And I also did it for Notepad. And I typed something in Notepad without saving it. And the computer restarted, and my unsaved content in Notepad also was reopened. So that's a neat thing. I wish it was a little bit more, by default, because I have to go configure it. So I have to have already set that up for a client's computer in order to make that a thing. So thank you for that, Zavi Manor. Coming up here to see where we're at with chat. Yeah, Rick confirms typo was going to be 400 by the time he gets that backpack or whatever that thing was that he said. They offered me 2 gigs for 120 a month, Ken, and I heard the conversation on Ken Stout's show. Why would you want 2 gigabits per second? Some people might be using it if they have a lot of machines doing heavy file upload and download, but for most people, jumping from 200 megabits per second all the way through 2 gigabytes per second, you're probably not going to notice any improvement. Even if you are streaming to YouTube the way I am, I think the only place you're going to notice it is heavy downloads and uploads. And Bobby says, yes, I download a lot of games. Does this feature require fast startup to be enabled? I don't believe so. I think that is completely separate from fast startup. Now, the article also says that you can go into Task Manager on the Startup tab and see whether startup is enabled here. But when I enabled Google Chrome to auto restart, it does not show up in here. Google Chrome and OBS are not showing up on the Startup tab. So that article, I'm pretty sure that article was saying that it'll be in here on this list once a program is configured for auto restart, and it's not. Now, I did not read the article through very carefully. I spot read it through enough to get the feature to work, And then I just went forward from there. I'm not sure if I missed anything. Anybody? Nick Poverman, hello. Speedy C. Good evening, Martin Hogg. Office app not have to be set. Did I test that? No, I didn't test that on any Office apps. Now let me see if Microsoft Word, for instance, already indicates that it is set for that. It's not registered for restart. So to test that, I would need to maybe open a couple documents and restart the computer and see if it automatically brings those back up. Now, if you have unsaved content in Microsoft Word and do a restart, next time you launch Microsoft Word, it'll offer you that unsaved content because that is a default configuration of Microsoft Word. I did not test any of the Microsoft Office products. Now, let me go back to what else do I have something else on to talk about. Let's go to channel comments. Channel comments. Avicii, I think that was the pronunciation. Avicii, or I think Grafstein, I think it was. Congratulations on number 200 Windows Daily. Nicely done with the 2 Doug scene. Thank you. Dennis says, after I explained to Hexona who you were, she was quite pleased. I'm puzzled by that. What is it about me that she would be pleased about? And that's because I rated her for my Twitch. So like 2 of my Twitch followers had the option of rating her channel. By the way, watching this back, so he's watching episode 201. Let's do some clicks here. Avicii Grafstein, I'm not gonna send him a reply saying I'm replied to him because there's no actual discussion of that, and he watches often enough that he'll see that. How to fix Gmail reverse conversation order, Patrick Smith. And so he found that helpful. That's a video that got a lot of watches, a lot of views. That was number 3 in the Windows Fix Tips series of videos. John Williams, is this Curious Doug or Multi-Zoom Doug? Hope I made you laugh tonight. I don't quite get it. What is Multi-Zoom Doug? Can somebody... Oh, I know what it is. I know what that was. Well, that's on the Saturday show when I have all of those, when Ken Stout set up all of those pretend Dougs. I don't remember the name of that. So there's a thumbs up and a heart. Ken Stout, speaking of the 200 thing, that was great on the 2 Dougs together. Excellent job. Can you explain how you did it for us newbies? Yes, I can explain it. I am capable of explaining it. Yeah, because I know how it was done. I can explain it. Moving on. Zavi Minor says, I tested it and was working for, I think that means for the Microsoft Office. Martin Hogg, I have a trick question. What do you recommend for inserting text boxes into a PDF file, please? Okay, well, you would have to text boxes. Wow, there's a lot of response I could give for that. Well, I have Adobe Acrobat Standard, so I can do it from there. There are some other PDF applications that would let you do that, and there are some, I think there are some versions of Adobe Acrobat Reader that allows you to add things to an Adobe Acrobat, like comments. Now, when you say a text boxes, are you trying to actually insert a text box and move the rest of the text below? You would have to have a PDF editing program for that. You're not going to do that by augmenting a PDF file where you can make little notes and point arrows and give annotations for an existing document. If you want to edit the PDF, insert a text box, and move the other stuff down, you'd have to be using, I believe, Adobe Acrobat Standard or something comparable, or a third-party PDF editing software. Martin, you'd have to be a little more specific in response to my questions there. Ran Israel, the free Foxit reader allows that, yes, and I have used that. I have a client that's using that. I don't do a lot of interaction with that. You know what? I haven't checked to see if Ken has a stream or a premiere. I know he's in the chat room. I could ask him, but because I might forget to go back and look, and I have to go in here anyway, there's a daily Da Vinci debacle. Might as well just go find it. Since his vision has been restored, I can see. I'll just go ahead and configure it. Now, there's an email in here from Ken Stout. Well, how about that? What does he have to say? First, no, you weren't first. This is not the first thing that I'm doing today. So you're not first. I don't care that you claim to be first or request to be first. You did not come first. First, congratulations on 200 episodes again. I haven't done another 200 episodes. I only reached 200 episodes once. I haven't done it again. I was impressed with your two Dougs, the one giving you the root beer and you taking it from him. How did you know that was me taking the root beer? That indeed was me. It wasn't some other Doug. How did you do that? Ken, I suggest you try this sometime. Go to your refrigerator, pick up a bottle of root beer. Now, since you're asking the question about root beer, you have to do it with root beer. And you could, for instance, go over to Lorna, your wife, and hand it to her, and she takes it. It's not complicated to hand off a root beer from one person to another. I don't know. I'm puzzled. What do you do? The one giving the word root and you take it. How did you do that? Have you never handed a root beer to somebody or had one handed to you? Feel sorry for you if you haven't experienced that in life. I know or think you green screened the one entering the room. Well, just like if you were to paint a room, Ken Stout, and I know you've done this, or paint a car. I have painted cars, a few of them. You know the flaws. There are always flaws, particularly if it's an early attempt. So Ken Stout, have you gone back and watched that very carefully to look for the flaws? Because there are flaws. You will be able to answer that question yourself. Because you've had experience with green screen. If you look for the flaws, you will be able to answer that question as to whether there was a green screen or not. Have you even tried? You just asking me to hand it to you? Yeah, that's going to happen. What is throwing me is you were live. I'm always live. Anytime I get in front of a camera, I'm always live. I never am unconscious or dead when I'm in front of a camera. I'm always live when there's a camera pointed at me. In fact, I'm usually live when clients are in front of me too. What's throwing me is you were live and did that. Or was it somehow recorded as has been mentioned within certain groups? Hint, Zoom homies. Well, if you go back on my channel and look for Windows Daily number 200, you'll be able to play that because it's recorded. The whole show's. You can go back and watch it, meaning it was recorded. So where are you going with that? I don't know. Just very impressive, he says. Now, Ken Stout, was that a live show he's doing or was that a premiere he's doing? Because if it was a live show, I can be a little bit overtime, but I don't think I'm going to. And I've got a client waiting me to do something. And before I forget, where is, oh, there he is. It is that looks like a live. It doesn't say premiere, so it has to be a live stream. What was I saying? Where was I at? Oh, yeah. It's a space-time dimension machine to do that kind of work. Not anything special. And a lot of people, including Ken Stout, Ken Stout has a space-time dimension machine. Now that's the well, I can't say science fiction term for it because it's science fiction is pretend, not real, but time-space dimension machines are very real. It's the scientific term for it, the common man's term for it, and I think that's where Ken is at with his space-time dimension machine, is computer, video editing software, camera, microphone, all that kind of stuff. You use that together and it becomes a space-time dimension machine. You can show things from different spaces, that space and this space, and different times and dimensions. Is the live Doug that received the root beer, the other Doug. Do you realize who that was? That was Craft Doug, Craft Services Doug. In movies and TV shows and stuff, the people that provide the food services or catering, they're called craft services. So that was Craft Service Doug. And let's see, I guess that's Ken has said many times that if you can imagine it, it can be done. So Ken, you can imagine now handing off a root beer to yourself. You can imagine it because you've seen me do it. If you can imagine it, it can be done, according to Ken Stout in Da Vinci. So there's your challenge, Ken. Not QFK, but CFK. Challenge for Ken. Or it could be QFK quest for Ken. You know, in Fortnite we'd have quests. Quest for Ken. Make it happen. Can't wait to see what you do. There's something for you to do with Da Vinci Resolve. Da Vinci Resolve, it's called. Let's see. What else? What else I got to say here? I can see, says the blind man. Also, I hope you had a pleasant day, Doug, and everyone from Buns of Wisdom. I am mostly eating at the moment, so I'm not talking actively, but apparently able to type. Yeah, it's difficult to talk while you're eating, but you can type while you're eating. Ken Stout, lest you forgot I'm diabetic, cannot enjoy root beer any longer. Oh, certainly there must be some sugar-free forms of root beer. I tried using LibreOffice Draw to insert text into a form in PDF, but it's a nightmare, hence the question. LibreOffice Draw to insert text into a form in PDF. Now, if you're talking about completing a form that has been created in PDF and they want you to fill in the blanks, you should be able to do that with the Adobe Acrobat Reader DC. Let's see, do I have Adobe Reader DC? Can't spell worth anything. I think this is all, yeah, that's all showing not showing Reader there. Do I have Adobe Reader here? There's, when you open a PDF file into Adobe Acrobat Reader DC, which stands for Document Cloud, it's free. There's a button up at the top for being able to fill in the blanks on a form. If the designers of the form have set up those fields for you to enter, you might just be able to click in the field. If you could direct me to, let's see, Martin Hogg, if you could send me a link or forward me the document, I'll do some demonstrations of that. That's a good thing to do on this channel. Rick Lakes, can't drink my Mountain Dew right now, laughing too much. Comedy Gold with Doug today. It's live. It is live. He's live. He's live. Suvi Minor, he wanted to laugh at someone. Today is your turn from Savita Ken. Dennis, past Dennis here. Space Time Machine equals DeLorean. Yeah, but that one's science fiction. This time space dimension machine, that's a real thing. Many of you around here have the machine. Use it. No worries, all good. Ran Israel, if you build it, they will come, becomes, if you render it, it'll be done. If you build it, they will come, becomes, if you render it, it'll be done. Yeah, I gave up groaning a few minutes ago from Selden Ball for my corny jokes. Yeah. Ken Stout to V. Yes, Kevin Costner going to play me in the movie. Haha, that was a good one. I'm live. Dennis is live. We'll check it. All right. Where else? Breaking news. It is Fire the Anchor Day. Carlson is out at Fox News. Lemon is out at CNN. See there how out of touch I am? I don't even know who Lennon is. It's not John. That one's spelled different anyway. This is lemon, not Lennon. What else is there to talk about? Oh, executive producer Doug. He's the one that pushes us all to do stuff. He says episode 200 was a particular kind of event, and then 210, and then 220, and then 230. If you understood that, good on you. I'm not going to explain what I mean by that, what he means by that. Costner is too older to play you in a movie. Don Lemon is the newscaster's name. Well, hey, if Carlson is out, how about, what's his name? We have somebody in our community that's looking to become an anchor. Maybe he can go apply for that job. I'm totally zoning. I know the name. Who is it? Come on, tell me who's looking for a job as a news anchor. He's very regular in our community. I don't think he's here, though, this morning. Come on, who's looking? Oh, Bobby Warren. Bobby Warren, that's it. Bobby Warren wants to be the news anchor. Yep, Ken Stout says it's Bobby Warren. He was a news reporter, then he became a high school teacher, and now he's looking for news anchor. And I think also last night on Ken Stout Live, he said that he's thinking of moving somewhere. And he is in the chat room. Okay, we got a few minutes. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What else is there to say? Did I get through everything? Oh, let me check one other thing. Let me see if I had any links saved for today. Oh yes, I know what I got to tell you. I got to tell you about that computer Saturday, that I was having the trouble with. The rest of the story, it's at my client's office. I took it there on Sunday. I did some more stuff on Saturday. I found that problem that I was having with the keyboard and mouse. It was just very inconsistent. And I came to realize, I told you that I repaired the boot problem with System Restore. I don't remember if I told you that I had also restored an image backup that was about a week before the problem was discovered. And then subsequently, I realized that that backup would have had that partial update in play. So when the computer restarted after restoring that backup, it finished installing that update. And I think that computer might have a compatibility issue with that update. We know it's a dinosaur. That computer is very old. And I'm thinking it has a problem with that. So I restored an April 3rd backup, which would be before that Windows cumulative update was downloaded. And the computer ran perfectly. Any mouse, any keyboard, any port, everything worked just fine. So I restored that backup to April 3rd with the Ethernet disconnected, so it's not connected to the internet. And then I paused updates for the maximum amount of time, which turned out to be late in May. About 5 weeks worth. Here's a little aside in parentheses here. I think, and I've seen this happen a couple times, when I restore an old backup, I can defer backups for the same maximum amount of time that you can when updates are even current. And I'm curious, trying to restore like a January backup without being connected to the internet, and then see if I can still defer backups for the maximum amount of time, which is about 5 weeks. Go into Windows key, update settings, and then go to advanced options and come down here, select a date way out about 5 weeks. So that one is currently deferred to, I think, May 28th, because May 29th wouldn't have been available to me yesterday. So I think that could be an interesting way to keep a computer on older state. If you could restore a backup from January and defer updates for 5 weeks, and then after those 5 weeks go by, restore that old backup again, defer for another 5 weeks. Can you keep doing that? I know you can't keep deferring. If you defer 5 weeks and then try deferring again a bunch of weeks, it's less and less time that you can defer. So that's an interesting thing. When I took the computer back to the office, I could not get his wireless keyboard and mouse to work. So I connected a wired keyboard and mouse, worked fine, left his wireless keyboard and mouse disconnected. I'm going to call the administrator of the office after I finish this today and talk to her about replacing the computer with a new computer. We'll let that one limp by for 5 weeks, see if there's any other troublesome symptoms. And I'm not going to pursue any more trying to fix it. There might be more fixes that could be done. Now, it's possible after a few weeks go by, we might be able to install current updates and it might work fine, because there might have been some kind of compatibility issue with the current updates that Microsoft will have fixed by then. So a few weeks down the road, I'll try installing those updates. I'll create myself a calendar event to do it. And if it works, they'll probably continue with that computer longer, because they all are tight. Most of my clients are just tight with the money. They don't want to replace a computer until they're forced to. Conversation with Bobby. I have a dinosaur, going to play old games. Configured less work in the long run to replace the 10-year-old hardware. Yes, less work, more money now. They seem to be okay with paying me to keep something limping along and defer that expense down the road. It's not a smart thing to do financially, because this business is still going to be in business 5 years from now. For even individuals, pay the money now instead of paying maintenance after maintenance after maintenance. That's not the way business minds and board of directors think. Usually they want to defer. Whatever they can defer it. Over a 10-year period, they wind up spending more money. Okay. I have a small percentage of clients that have a little better wisdom. All right, I'm going to shut this down, send you over to Ken Stout. If you have the auto redirect set, it will take you over to him. Get ready, Ken. Here they come. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Goodbye.